How are you guys doing? Hopefully everybody is doing all right. I'm going to do something here real quick. I'm going to make sure that that my audio is coming out like it should be, which it is. All right, so we good to go there. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and jump right on into this because I know that there people are going to get notified a little later, et cetera, et cetera. So do not be upset if I flew through this video because I'm trying to take care of some business that a lot of people want me to take care of that have approached me, not approached me, but that kind of got a hold of me through the internet. So to everybody that's watching right now, appreciate you tuning in and watching. Welcome to the channel. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man. You are watching my channel, which is a variety channel. When you come to my channel, one of the first things you should do, you should go to an area called playlist and click on playlist. When you click on playlist, you will see a bunch of different things that I do on this channel. Trust me, you will probably find something in here that you like. All right. With that being said, don't forget that if you are someone that's been following me for a while, double check to make sure that you are subscribed. When I get into the video, don't forget to like the video, share the video, which I know we always repeat this to you guys because y'all hardly ever do it. I know I'm just messing with y'all. Anyway, again, appreciate you guys all being here. What I'm getting ready to hit on right now is something that got sent to me by some friends who work in a lot of mainstream media, and they like me to talk about certain subjects, whatever, et cetera, because I do this outside of work, dealing with people with issues. And yes, I am a minister. I'm an evangelist. Okay. My home church is called Christ Tabernacle. All right. So, with that being said, appreciate you being here. Thank you guys. I'm getting ready to get into this. So, it has come out that teen girls are struggling with mental illness at record levels, with many persistently sad, as data reveals. Virginia teen shares a story of self-harm and recovery. Okay. Now, this story it discusses self-deletion. If y'all follow me, self-deletion. It has self-deletion word in it in case you might not want to hear somebody hear it, or better yet, if you know that you have a teenager, whether you may think they have those issues or not, it still would be good for them to hear this, okay? Because they might have a friend that y'all might not know of that might struggle with self-deletion. Okay. If you or somebody know who's having thoughts of self-deletion, the phone number is 1-800-273-8255. Again, the phone number, if you are having issues with self-deletion or you know somebody that might be having issue with self-deletion, give them this phone number, 1-800-273-8255. Okay. Now, this says young women are struggling with their mental health, with many turning to self-harm as a way to cope. Understand the significance in that wording right there. They are turning to self-harm as a way of coping. They're turning to self-harm as a way of coping with their mental health. It's interesting, okay? This says some 57% of female teens in the United States struggled with feeling persistently sad. They're feeling persistently sad. According to the CDC, of the women surveyed, 30% considered self-deletion. 24% of them planned self-deletion, and 13% of them attempted self-deletion. This says she'll also have additional reports if you tune in to this particular channel. See the full story from Gillian Turner on a special report today at 6 p.m. on Fox News. Mental health in the U.S. among female young women, 57% of them are persistently sad. 30% of them consider self-deletion. 24% of them planned self-deletion, and 13% of them attempted self-deletion. Caroline Zuba is a teen from Virginia who is a survivor of an attempted self-deletion. Zuba was hospitalized 6 times in the last 3 years with mental health emergencies after suffering mentally and emotionally. I'm going to just let y'all know something here right now. A lot of times when you're dealing with people like this, because I do this, when you're dealing with people that have these so-called mental issues, what I do not like is when you just say, I have mental issues. See, whenever I get these young folks that come to me and say, hey, I got mental health issues, I say, tell me what it is. See, I'm the type of guy, I'm not going to beat around the bush. You struggle with mental health. How? What is it that you're struggling with? And I'm going to tell y'all from experience, over half the time, what it is that they're struggling with is very petty and is very mediocre. But because these young people in this generation are so set up to handle the most small, minute issue with sadness and emotion, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I'm just being real. Now, my young ones and I'm mentoring y'all know I'm not saying this to you guys. What I am saying is this: a lot of things that people in my generation or the generation under me, a lot of things that we had to face and deal with was very minute and mediocre. This current state has you guys feeling like the very minor things that we felt was just, that ain't a big deal. They made it a big deal to y'all, and they made y'all believe it is a big deal, and they wanted y'all to handle it, but I don't know what to do. You see, not getting your way or parents not allowing you to have certain type of materialistic things, that's not mental health. Because you get upset and sad that your parents are not allowing you to have the latest game system, your parents are not allowing you to go to certain parties, or that's not mental health. That's petty. That's normal. And this is what I do to them. Oh, that's normal. That's nothing. That's not. I know, but I feel that my parents don't love me. No, 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 no. That's a lie. They love you. That's the reason why they're not let you have. I get straight to the point. So a lot of them have been told that by their parents keeping things in check or dealing with certain issues, they've been told that they got mental health issues. No, you don't. You have a typical teenager issue where the parents are telling you, no, it's part of adolescence. It's part of growing up. You'll get past it. You'll get over it. But they're being taught not to deal with it. Okay, so anyway, let me get back into this. This says Zuba, this teenager, she was hospitalized 6 times in the last years with mental health emergencies after suffering mentally and emotionally, which I told you I want to get to the issue of why. Now, check this out. As a young woman, it says, I just felt like I didn't have a purpose. So the first thing I turned to initially was experimenting, was slicing or causing herself to have lacerations. Her way of dealing with the fact that she felt like she didn't have a purpose. Y'all know what I'm getting at. Feeling like she did not have a purpose. Her remedy to not feeling like she had a purpose was lacerating herself. She said lacerating oneself. Well, this says lacerating oneself is a way to try to cope with emotional pain, sadness, anger, and stress, according to Mayo Clinic's website, which this is true. Physically harming herself took the mental pain away, said Zuba, who added that the only thing that ultimately helped her heal was medicine and therapy. Now, let me tell y'all something. This is where the people that work in the medical field, and I have a lot of neuropsychologists and clinical psychologists that I work directly with them because I minister to these young folks. They've been trained a specific way on how to deal with this. When you go to school to become a clinical psychologist, unless you try to do something completely on your own and get a really deeper understanding, a lot of times you're only doing and you're repeating what they taught you in school. But I'm looking at this from a ministerial perspective because early on, the fact that I dealt with issues like this, I never cut myself or nothing like that, but I dealt with the issues of these crazy thoughts and everything like that. And I got past it. I understand, but I can tell you this right here, right now. When she made this comment, and I would just have to just get on her about this. If I was talking to this young girl, she said, cutting oneself is a way to try to cope with the emotional pain, sadness, anger, and stress. Says physically harming herself took the mental pain away. It didn't. If physically harming herself took the mental pain away, that means she only would have to done it one time. See, the issue that a lot of these people have is they are not being taught how to face the issue that they're dealing with. They're trying to do other alternatives to avoid dealing with the issue. Shout out to Trucker Yell in here. Appreciate you tuning in, bro. Again, when you have an issue that you're dealing with on a mental level, you are being taught to run from it instead of facing it. I'm just being real with you. Talking it out with people, that's one way of you trying to deal with it. But, and I'm going against a lot of men, I'm not going to say their names, the doctors, y'all know who y'all are. I argue with you guys, and I told you guys, and it's been proven. Medication does not help you deal with the mental issue that you're facing. Now, here's a trick. A lot of people that are on a certain type of medication, whether it's lithium, volume, antidepressants, they will say with their mouths, it helped me because I felt better. People who drink alcohol also feel better. But once that alcohol and the drunkenness and all that, once you smoke a certain drug or do a certain drug, once you take certain medication, once your body properly metabolizes that and it goes through the process of being eliminated through the system, guess what you're left with after that? You are going to be left still with that problem, still with that issue. Why? Because you didn't face the issue and deal with the issue. Taking medication does not deal with the issue. Taking medication causes your body to have a chemical release that might release oxytocin or dopamine or serotonin, and those hormones give off the feeling of feeling good, just like drugs will. Drugs will help you feel good. Drugs will help you mentally escape the issue. But as soon as it wears off, guess what's going to be right there waiting for you, like with the most persistent patience in the world. Guess what's going to be left there waiting for you? That mental problem, that emotional problem, that spiritual problem. And that's why a lot of people will confess and say, having these drugs is helping me. But if the drugs were helping you, and I'm saying this from a logical, intellectual standpoint, if those drugs were helping you, you would only have to take them one time and it would get rid of your issue. If they indeed helped. The problem is you are not being taught or you are not being coached through your problems. Understand this. And I'm trying to say this slow so people can get a deeper understanding. There's a reason why if somebody tells a joke, you laugh. It's a reason why that when somebody on your favorite basketball team scores a point or something like that, you stand up and praise. There is a reason why that when a child does something that just gives you the most awesome feelings, you feel proud. It's a reason why that there's certain things that you do brings joy to your life. It's a reason why that if a parent or a relative that was really close to you on an emotional level, that if they pass away, you cry. You want to know why? Because you were meant to have something called emotions, and you were meant to deal with these problems with those emotions. If something is funny, we laugh. If something happens that is unjust, we get pissed off. Right? If something you see that just warms your heart, you get the, oh, that is so nice. Look at that. Or, you see somebody accomplish something, wow, you feel inspired. We were meant to feel these things, these different emotions that we have in this world. We were meant to feel them. So you need to learn to embrace them. The same way you embrace laughter if something is funny, the same way you embrace the joy when something gives you joy. You need to also be ready to embrace when things make you angry. But the thing that you need to learn is how to respond and react to those certain emotions when they come. No, you don't like to feel mad. You don't like to feel angry. You don't like to feel depressed. I understand that. But what you need to learn to do is how to face them and deal with them. What is it that caused you to be depressed? This young woman said, I felt like I had no purpose. As a minister, that right there is one of the number one reasons that a lot of young people come in, and some of them can articulate it like she does, but that is one of the number one reasons why they come in there, because they feel like they have no purpose. And I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you have children, I'm trying to help you right now. If you have very young children, if your young children have an iPad, a kid pad, a phone, etc., you need to take it away from them, because your child is going to end up having these same issues. I'm telling you right now, you as a parent, as a parent, if you want your child to not face these same issues, you need to take it away. You need to talk with your child on a daily basis. You need to see what type of thing oh my God, do you know that y'all, listen to me. One of the biggest issues that's plaguing the world right now is that people feel like they don't have a purpose. And the reason why is because you are being programmed, you are being indoctrinated, you are being dumbed down because you're constantly in the phone. And these phones and these tablets, they're keeping your attention to where the kid or the purpose or the young person, they cannot discover what it is they like, that they want. They can't even discover those things. Why? Because they're too caught up in constantly being entertained with what's in their hands. This girl said, I felt like I had no purpose. I guarantee you this young girl has a phone. I guarantee you she has an iPad. I guarantee you she scrolls through Instagram and see all the shorts. She laughs. She sees all the cute animal videos. But then after a while, like this is a book that says the eyes are never satisfied, nor is the belly ever full. After a while, that stuff doesn't do it anymore for him. She felt like she had no purpose. And a lot of women, y'all are probably about to get mad at me. You are probably about to get mad at me, but it doesn't matter. And this is young folks, this goes for young men too. Your parents, your mother and your father, they are the ones to bestow purpose upon you. Now, this is going to go a little deep, and some of y'all are not going to understand this. Purpose. As your children grow and the stages that they go through, you should be doing things with your kids at that stage, because by you participating and doing things with your kids in certain stages, you are giving them purpose. You're giving them purpose. Teaching your kids how to cook, teaching your kids how to mow the lawn, teaching your kids how to put in a light bulb. I'm telling you, you are giving them purpose. Give me 1 second here, folks. Let me let my dog in. All right, I'm back. Okay, so I know that some people may not agree with that, which is completely fine, but you are the one that validates your children. You are the one that is a covering for them. You are the one to give them purpose. Before there's ever a such, listen to me, y'all, because y'all, I'm trying to help y'all. Y'all can disagree with this. Before there was a such thing as all these computers, before there was a such thing as all these cell phones, did you know that it was absolutely a normal thing for all us young people? We knew how to do things. We knew how to ride bikes. We knew how to make ropes. We knew how to climb trees. We knew how to make our own little cars. We would invent our own stuff. We would take apart remote control cars and put the 2 wires on the battery, put a popsicle stick on to make our own little helicopters. We knew how to do things. And we also were very artistic. We did things. And guess one of the first things that your child would do, when back in my days in the late 80s and the early 90s and possibly maybe into the 2000s, there was still a such thing where a kid would come and say, Mommy, look what I did. Mommy, look what I did. Mommy, look, I drew this. Mommy, look what I know how to play. Mommy, look what I made. I made of this. Mommy, look what I drew. Y'all remember those days? Nowadays, kids going, Mommy, look at this funny kid. Mommy, look on my phone. Look what this boy did. He's funny. Mommy, look at, they're not doing anything. They don't have any purpose. When you put your child in front of an iPad, and when you put your whatever in front of an iPad, in front of a TV all the time, you are not giving them purpose. I'm telling you right now, that's why these people feel like they are worthless. I have a 21-year-old and have a 19-year-old. Still to this day, they do things and still say, Dad, check this out. Dad, what do you think about this? Dad, listen to this. Dad, look what I just drew. Look what I just learned. Look what I just made. Still to this day. It gives them purpose. Being on the phone all day long, being on YouTube all day long serves no purpose, and it gives them no purpose. It's just simply entertainment, and it's a false reality that they're in. It is a false reality. They're looking in on everybody else's life while at the same time they don't have a life themselves. Y'all heard me? You are busy being entertained and looking at everybody else's life while all along you don't have a life yourself. You're busy spending all day long looking how everybody else live while you're not living. Being cooped up all day long watching everybody else's life is not living. It's not. So you have to be a parent to your child. Give them purpose. Teaching your kids the basic essentials of living, you're absolutely giving them a purpose. Y'all, I'm telling you, it can be as simple as teaching your child to just simply wake up and straighten their bed. It can be that simple. It can be as simple as if they get tired of the way their room look, you can say, well, what would you like your room to look like? I would like my bed over here, over there. Do that with them. It can be as simple as you have to be the one to do it as a parent. You are giving them purpose. Show them how to mow the lawn. Show them why the lawn has to be mowed this way. Show them how to go on the line, turn around, and stay on par. If you want to put something together or a project that you're doing, show them how to do it. If you can show them, hey, look, this is how you put it. Y'all think this is stupid. This is how you put a light bulb in, son. This is how you put a light bulb in, daughter. Look, get out the car with me real quick. I'm going to show you how to pump gas. Teaching them how to function in this world is giving them purpose. That's why they feel like they don't have one. I don't have a purpose. I don't need to be here. Why? Because I don't feel like I know how to function in this world. I have no purpose. I don't belong. Well, what do you peel back the layers? So let me go back and read a little bit more what she said. Turner spoke with Ingrid and said, who is an eating disorder survivor, who said that being present for a friend going through a tough time is important, which I agree. Says sometimes all you can do is say, I'm here and I'm doing my best, she said. Zuber's mother recalled the moment she was told about her daughter's lacerations, saying she would never forget that day. The young woman's school guidance counselor called and said Zuba's daughter had been lacerating herself. The mom noted. Mental illness is not bias. It can happen to anyone, she said. The mental health crisis is an ongoing issue throughout the nation as many families are unable to find specialists to help. Data from the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, headquartered in Washington, D.C., shows that the United States that there are only 14 child and adolescent psychiatrists for every 100,000 children. The shortage leads to a long wait list and wait times. The average wait time for behavioral health services is 48 days, the National Council for Mental Health Well-Being of Washington, D.C. found. So look at this. There is no way that these psychiatrists is going to be able to meet the demands of the amount of people that need the help. That's why it's important that it starts at home, plain and simple. This whole system that has a deep evil root is simply there to completely destroy family. Family is and not only just a family, a nuclear family where there's a husband and a wife biologically. It is the biggest threat to the system. I'm telling you right now, you can disagree with me all day long, but the future is going to prove my point. The nuclear family consisting of a husband and a wife with children, it is the number one biggest threat to every type of rhetoric and crazy narrative out there. It is the biggest threat to radical feminism. It is the biggest threat to homosexuality. It is the biggest threat to trans. It is the biggest threat to gender reassignment. It is the biggest threat to all Planned Parenthood. It is the biggest threat to all of it. A nuclear family consisting of a man and a woman, biological, who got their own children, is the number one threat to this huge system of that's trying to do nothing more than to destroy that. The way that a family is structured and supposed to operate, can completely annihilate all of these issues that we are talking about right now. But the reason why we have an uprising in a lot of these issues is because the family is broken up. I'm not saying that this girl didn't have her father, but notice it don't seem like the father had nothing to say about it if there is a father. But the mother should have something to say. It said when the school contacted her mother. Anytime something went on with one of my kids at school, and they had the right, like just say if they said if my son, if the school had an issue regarding, oh, we had a little bit of a gas leak, so we're asking, we're going to call. Guess who they called? They called me and my wife, and they noted father and mother were called. Not no mother. Father and mother were called. Mother came and picked up the child. Or if one time I picked up my son myself. I left work and picked up my son. Point I'm saying that for is that in this particular article, we just got done hearing that the mother was notified, but the father wasn't. I'm telling you right now, y'all can disagree. Fathers validate their sons and their daughters. I'm getting ready to go down a road that a lot of y'all are not going to agree with, but it does not matter because, again, life situations prove it. A woman can raise a son to a certain extent, but she cannot teach that son how to be a man. A man can raise his son from a kid and teach that son how to be a man. A man can raise a little girl and teach that little girl how to be a woman. That is not true. Yes, it is. Now I'm going to go spiritual. So if you don't want to hear me going spiritual and all that, then I advise you to go ahead and clock out right now because you're going to disagree with this. Okay? You got good 10 seconds before I get into this to clock out of this. Or you might just want to hear why I'm saying what I'm saying is for. A woman can raise a little girl to become a woman. A woman cannot raise a little boy to become a man. A father can raise a little boy to become a man. A father can raise a little girl to become a woman. It goes deeper than what y'all think. First of all, I'm going to take it on a spiritual and I'm going to take it on a deep level, metaphorical, philosophical, however you want to call it. Men have both of those chromosomes. They are the ones to determine whether you're going to have a male or a female. We have that. We have that. When Adam had the rib taken from him and God created a woman, who do you think taught that woman? Uh-oh. Why do you think is we men, we house women, we house female and male chromosomes. We house that. Women don't. We house the male and the female chromosome in us. We determine whether that woman that we impregnate is going to have a boy or a girl. We do that. They don't. The woman don't decide whether it's going to be a boy or a girl. Men do. So we already equipped on a cellular level of what's going to be coming out of that woman, whether it's a boy or a girl. Again, let me go back to the beginning. When God saw that Adam was alone, he said, it is good that man not be alone. And then God said, he put Adam in a deep sleep. He made Adam a woman. And when Adam saw her, Adam said, this is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. When you impregnate a woman and your seed comes out and it starts swimming wherever it's going to be, that is bone of your bone, flesh of your flesh. Now, let me take this a little further. Who do you think taught Eve? Who do you think taught her? Her husband. Adam is the one that taught Eve. Adam is the one that led Eve. Adam was already in the garden. He was tending to the garden, tending to the animals. He was walking like he was supposed to be walking. He was doing all the things he was supposed to be doing. When his wife came along, Adam taught his wife everything that she needed to know. What am I saying that for? Being a natural leader and a natural teacher, Adam taught his wife how to move as a woman. Uh-oh. Some of y'all about to get mad. Ty, don't say that because I'm not getting mad. Well, you getting mad just by even thinking in a sin. I'm just messing. No, but seriously. Seriously. Adam taught his wife. Adam led his wife. And if y'all don't believe what I'm saying, you can go look it up in the Bible. And guess what God said to her? He said, Eve, your desire shall be to your husband. And it said, and he shall rule over you. Now here y'all go. Y'all getting ready. What you mean rule? What you mean rule? So that's the problem we have today is that you misogynistic. See, you taking it like somebody going, me woman, I talk. You shut up, woman. Shut up, woman. Do what I say. I'm man, you woman. No. This is where the issue comes at when you get to a point where you westernize things, when you let feminists of a radical movement start playing in your mind. When he said your desire shall be for, so whatever it is your husband wants to do, whatever he desires, that's your desire is to say, honey, what is it that we're going to do? Now you can, that's what it is. That's what your desire is supposed to be. And it said, and he shall, look it up in the Bible, don't believe me. It said he shall rule over you. When he said he shall rule over you, what do you think a ruler does? A ruler is not there to be this dictator over you and tell you, no, a ruler, number one thing that a ruler, if you think about a kingdom, the number one thing that a ruler wants to do is make sure that their kingdom is functioning and is well. This is what a lot of you men got to get in your head. You are the leader. You are the head of the household. You are the king in your kingdom. Your wife is the queen. Y'all do not have equal duties. Y'all don't. You have a greater duty. Your job is not to be there to be this dictator over your wife or anything. Your job as a ruler is to make sure that the kingdom is functioning well. So as a ruler, you are the one that's supposed to make sure that that person that's under you, your wife, you are to make sure that she is okay. You are to make sure that she's okay mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. You are to make sure that she is protected. You are to make sure that you are communicating with her in such a way that what you're doing is making sure that she is being uplifted, that she is being okay health-wise. You are to go before her and make sure there's no harm and danger that can come to her, be it family, be it friends, or whatever. That is your job. So when it says he shall rule over you, it's not talking about being this so-called, if a man talking about he over you, he's this misogynistic bigot. Don't fall for that bull crap. When you start to try to make yourself equal to the man and try to do everything a man do according to how God designed it, you are stepping out of that realm and you are opening and exposing yourself up to danger that these entities, that this evil out there know that it can easily take advantage of you. And there's nothing that you can do. You can be emotionally, mentally, and spiritually graped. If you know what I'm getting at, the word grape. Take away the G, you get the other word. You can be emotionally, spiritually, and mentally great. G-A-R-P-E. Take away the G. That can happen to you women. And you can say all day long, no, I can't. Yes, you can. You want to know why? Because greater men and greater spirits know that you guys are easy. Women, if a man wanted to take advantage of you and assault you, there is nothing that you can do on a physical level. I'm not talking about if, you know, something happens to happen and you have protection on you and you stun them and all that. I'm talking about if you were to be caught off guard and a man was trying to physically overpower you, you will be physically overpowered. Let's just be real. They know this. Animals know this. They know come on now. Animals know this. Animals will size you up. If you and I were walking out together and we were separated, and if there was a stray dog that was mean, that stray dog is going to come straight for you as a woman, because even the dog will size you up and recognize that you were smaller, that you were a female, and it's going to come for you before it comes for that man. That's what animals do. In the animal kingdom, it works the same exact way. The females are being sized up. These hyenas know that they can overtake the female lioness. They know that they can distract the female lioness. They know that the female lioness might give them some pushback, might give them some fight, but they do know that they're going to end up making those female lionesses flee. But then one male lion shows up and all of a sudden it breaks up those hyenas party. What I'm saying that for is that they know this. We know this. Let's just quit playing games. That's why, if y'all notice, they always in the 60s and the 50s, why is it that when salesmen came around, they made sure that the husbands were at work before they came and tried to sell you anything? Because they know that you cannot they know. They know. They know that you can be easily tricked. They know that they can play off of your emotions. They know that it's hard for y'all to say no. They know this. That's why they're glad when you guys show up to get an oil change. You go and get an oil change. They come out, hey, we noticed some sludge and something called your valve intake. We noticed that this is going on. This could be very detrimental to you. So if I was you, I would go ahead and we got a product we can take care of it right now for an additional. And you will sit there. Oh, yeah, okay, go ahead. And next thing you know, you went in for a $20 oil change. You left with a $400 bill. They know they can do this to y'all. Let's be real. They know that they can do that. They tell you they know this. There's all kinds of videos out there to where they're doing they doing these undercover, like, what would you do type things. And they are sitting there saying, these oil places saying we specifically target women because they say most men gonna get pushed back. Oh, no, I don't. Oh, I wanted the oil. What you found? You found what? Oh, I don't care. But still, go ahead. Still, I'll do my oil change. I'm leaving. Most men are like, no. But women, I'm just being real. They're able to get to you. So let's go back to that story of Adam and Eve. Go back to the story of Adam and Eve. Why is it that this whole entire time that Adam was there before there was an Eve? How come the evil didn't come and mess with Adam? Why didn't the evil come and mess with Adam? The evil came and messed with Eve. The evil came and messed with Eve. The evil came to her and got her to do what she was taught by her husband not to do. It got her to do what she was taught by her leader not to do. And then guess what? When she did it, because her husband, who looked at her and seen what was going to happen to her first, Adam knew, said, in this day, if you eat of this fruit, you shall surely die. Adam sat back and waited. My wife ain't dead, so maybe, And then guess what? She has a one-up on Adam. Listen to me now, because radical feminists, this is what they push. The same exact story. This evilness has been doing this playbook since day one, and I know I mentioned this before. What happened? How did she get tricked? You want to know why? The same thing they tell you women today is the same thing that serpent, that evil, told Eve back then. Nothing's gonna happen to you if you eat from that. In fact, did you know, Eve, that if you do eat that fruit, you are gonna be better than your husband? You're not just gonna be equal to him, you're gonna be above him. Because guess what? God is above Adam. Did you know that, Eve? God is above Adam. God is the only one that knows the knowledge of good and evil. If you eat from that, you are going to know the knowledge of good and evil too, which would put you above your husband, Eve. And you're not going to die. Nothing's going to happen to you. You're not going to be punished for what you did, Eve. Same thing they telling you women now. Get y'all to believe that y'all need to be equal to us. And all along, and deceive y'all into doing that, you are stepping out on a realm that was not designed for you to take on. And that's why that realm is going to destroy you. This right here is some proof. This article that I just got done reading is some proof. In the medical world, if I was able to get these people information and use that as my own research, I will show you. But because of HIPAA, I can't. Far more women are on way more antidepressants than men. That's because the men aren't. No. Number one, 90% of the women that come in that are on antidepressants in their chart, most of them are women of a certain caliber. They are career women. And if they're not career women, they still are career women who has a husband that works as well, and they put their child in daycare, and they cannot handle the husband is not the husband's like, I'm good. But why is the woman? Why is the woman the one coming in having all these stress related issues happen to her physically? They have an ovarian cyst, inflamed fallopian tubes, inflamed uterus, their periods are off. I'm healthy. I'm not doing nothing. I'm doing everything right. But you were not designed to handle all those certain type of stresses that this world, that this radical feminist movement pushed y'all to do. You were not meant to go out and do things that men do. Men can sit there and handle stress that y'all would just go crazy over, and we don't. Y'all are more emotional. Let's just keep it real. It's not sitting there downing y'all or damning y'all. It's it. It's the equivalence of you as a woman trying to lift something heavy. And I'll say, oh, I'll help you. You go, oh, no. That's really, really heavy, Ty. That's real heavy. And I go over there and pick it up like it's nothing. I'm built and I'm made to handle more than what you are. Men, most men, 90% of men, there are some little factors in there, but 90% of men are made and built to handle situations more than what women are. Things that would upset you and get y'all all emotional and get y'all all worked up. Men, we kind of like, no big deal. Yes, it is a big deal. They should not look. I don't care. Let them say what they want to say, whatever. But they shouldn't. You see what I'm saying? What they have done is exactly what happened in the Garden of the Garden of Eden. The serpent told Eve, you're going to be just as smart as God. You're going to be, look, come on now. Look at this now. You're going to be better than your husband. Look at that. You got a one up on him. Now, Adam probably felt, she ate from it. She's not dying. Maybe I need to eat from it too. So I'm going to be, he ate from it. God shows up. Y'all know the whole story. God said, hey, where y'all at? Adam said, we're hiding. God said to them, why are you hiding? Adam said, because we're naked and feel ashamed. And God said, who told you you were naked? Who told you that? Uh-oh. Did you happen to eat from the knowledge of good and evil and your eyes became open and revealed something to you now that you look? See, a lot of, yeah, they hid themselves. It's pretty deep right here. God said to Adam, what did you do? You ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Why? Guess what Adam did? Didn't want to take no accountability since he was supposed to be the one leading his wife. Guess what Adam did? He said, it's this woman that you created, the woman that you gave to me. In other words, God, if you never would have created this woman, I wouldn't be having this problem. God took it. Okay. I heard that. God looks at Eve. Eve, you knew that you weren't supposed to eat from this tree. In fact, you even quoted it back to the serpent that you're not supposed to eat from this tree. Guess what she did? Well, the serpent, he beguiled me. In other words, he flattered her with his words. He just got to her. And then I ate from it. So guess what? God turned to Adam, who is the leader. Guess what God said to him? He said, because you listened to the voice of your wife and ate from this tree, this is going to be your punishment. And then he told Eve, because you ate from the tree, this is going to be your punishment. Right? And the reason why he did that is because of this. When you give somebody directions, like I do in my house, Adam had no excuse. If I used to tell my oldest son, if your little brother does something to you, you come and tell me, because I can get him a lot worse than what you can. I said, but if you fight him back, you push him back and y'all both get to fighting, I'm getting both of y'all. Now, that happened once with my sons, with my older one. He fought him back and I got both of them. But he hit me first. It does not matter. But Daddy, it does not matter. What matters is I told you to do this and you didn't listen to what I said. You fought back like I told you not to. So yes, both of y'all are getting in trouble. And that's exactly what God did. Because Adam, you did what I told you not to do. Now, the second time it happened, my son came, Dad. He hit me, he pushed me, and I'm coming to tell you, his brother got in trouble and he didn't. Following orders. Now, the reason why I'm saying it is this. You will find throughout the whole entire Bible that it always referred to women as a weaker vessel. You will find throughout the whole entire Bible that you can see that women were easily coerced, women were easily overtaken. You find in the Bible that men, because they didn't stand as strong men, they let women get to their head, and they made those women still cause them to make some bad decisions. So these things are put in there for us to learn from as men. You don't sit there and give in to a woman to distract you and distort you from making a decision as a leader. Now, your woman can give you some info, but if your woman, and you know this, let's be real, you know that if your wife or if your girlfriend is doing something in a manipulative way to try to coerce you to make a decision that you know you're not sure that you want to make, but you do it anyway because of the possibility that you're scared she might hold sex from you. You scared because you don't want to hear no yeah. You were designed to handle that. But because of current things right now that this crazy rhetoric is trying to get you men to feel, because they got it in your head that your wife or that your girlfriend is equal to you, BS. She's not. She's not equipped to handle things that you are equipped to handle. She's just not. And when you allow them to take advantage of that, you are the one that's giving her that. And although you're giving her that, you're doing two things. You taking yourself out of position as what God put you there naturally and spiritually to do and emotionally to do, and you making her equal with you. And she was not designed to handle that. And then guess what? When you make that bad decision and it ends up hurting, you end up making a bad decision, and then it comes back on. Guess who it ends up hurting? It ends up hurting you and her and your family. Some of y'all have made some crazy, honey. We can just, I know we haven't had fun in so long, and we got a little bit of extra money. We just need to go out and you sitting there like, look, we can't. But when are we going to be able to have fun? How come we're not able to go out and do? And you sitting there knowing in the back of your head that if y'all go out there and go on that little small vacation, then when y'all come back, you might have to work overtime to make up for the bills y'all got to pay. But instead of that, you give in to your wife crying and her, oh, we don't never get to have fun. Instead of being the man that you're supposed to be and going, look, we are not going on vacation. Since we are in a good position right now, we're going to take this extra money and make sure that we're going to put something aside for a rainy day. Let me build up a few more months, baby, and then we can go back and look and see if we can go take this small little vacation to go and have some fun, X, Y, and Z. But what y'all do, oh my God, because she's whining, she's crying, and then the kids might be sitting there. They going along with the mama too. We don't have fun. We don't go anywhere, Dad. And you cannot give in to that. Your kids are not going to understand. Your wife may not even understand. But you as a leader, your job is to protect them and look out for them. They can't see it like you can see it. They weren't designed to. So what you do, this so-called putting your foot down, look, I understand that we haven't had fun and we haven't been able to do things in a long time. I am not getting ready to use this extra $1,200 that we have to go spend it on doing those things right there, to where when we get back from those things, I'm going to have to work extra overtime just to stay ahead. Look, after we get done paying all these bills, we're going to have this much money left. We can find something else to do that's going to be cheaper. We can look for somewhere where they might have going to a park is free. We can go bowling. It might be cheaper. But we don't have to take this money and try to go on this little vacation just because we have the money. That's the reason why we're in the position that we're in, because we're not managing the money right. And because I am the husband, the leader in the house, I got to make sure that those things are in place. I got to make sure that those things are okay. Because if I don't, and I make the decision based off of your emotional outcry right now, our family is going to be in the same predicament. But we just can't look. Okay, nope. That's it. No, I'm not doing it. We're not going on no vacation. We're not about to be broke. I'm not about to sit and struggle. I don't want to work no extra overtime just to get back level again. I'm using this extra $1,200 that we have right here to stay ahead of the game. And I hate to tell y'all. No, I don't. I love to tell you. They'll get over it. You are there as a teacher. You are there as a leader. If your wife is pissed off at you for 3, 4, 5 days, oh well. Your job is to make sure that your family is okay. Your job is to make sure that your kingdom that you're ruling over is functioning well. That's not you beating your chest or anything at her and saying, I'm not, no, it's not doing that, because your job is to look out for the overall well-being of your family. So you can't give heed to your wife crying, her screaming, her yelling, her shutting doors, and then her trying to put it on the kids. See there, kids? This is why we can't have fun, because daddy don't want to go out. And you can sit there and let her tell your kids it all day long. Your kids can't understand anyway. So you don't even got to go and try to explain to the kids, look, children, the reason why we're not going, you don't have to explain that to no kids. When they get older, they will have a conscience and they will understand exactly why you made the decision that you made. They're going to forget about it. You want to know why? Because in the future, when you get yourself in a better financial standpoint and you are able to take that vacation, they're not going to care. This is what I'm talking about, folks. This is the issue that a lot of people are having within their family, because when it comes back to it, it goes back to what this girl just got done saying. The reason why these issues are happening because men, women, and it's going to sprinkle on down to the children, don't know their purpose. They don't know their purpose. Everybody that's in here right now, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. Make sure you hit that like button so this video can be circulated. Make sure that when this video is over with, that you share the video. Okay? Now, I might take this time and see what some of the things you guys are here saying, but look at this. There's no way I will be able to read all y'all comments, but I'm going to just post them up here. Trista Richardson says, facts. First Love Ya says, we can never be equal. Treat us equal is great, but men are stronger and built totally different and can't have babies. No, we can't have babies. We weren't designed to have babies. But if we were designed to have babies, men would have babies, but we're not. So it's that easy. Teen girls aren't shooting up schools and killing themselves at exponential rates. Yep. But then I can just sit back and say, oh, yeah, but teen boys aren't deleting themselves and trying to delete themselves at exponential rates. And the same thing goes on. And but right now, I get what you're saying right now. But if I was to talk about what you're talking about right here, I would give the same. I will go in on these young boys as well. But I guarantee you, when it all comes down to it, it's going to be the same issue. The parents did not give these kids purpose. Now, listen to me when I tell y'all this, because some of y'all don't understand this. These kids that may have done these heinous acts like the school thing, and I'm just going to stay on that just for a little bit because I'm going to stay on this subject right here. But Ty, he came from a good home. Oh, why? You basing it off of social economic status? Just because you came out of the suburban or you came from a rich family and these kids went and done and these young teenage boys went and done these things to the school does not mean that they had really involved parents or parents that gave a crap about them, because they end up telling it. They end up telling it. Charles says, God help if you brought back a twig to my parents. Talking about the switches, you brought back a twig because we mad. Point is, you should all set up before you get married and have kids. That depends. It depends. Punishment makes weak kids have no common sense. I don't know what you mean by that. I don't really quite know what you mean. I don't know if you got something mixed up. I just didn't understand that right there. God said not to spare the rod. That is true. Charles says the most creative times in a person's life, in a family's life, is when money is tight. Yep. Timothy Grubber says, take their electronics away and make them go outside and play with friends. This electronic generation is incapable of handling disagreements or conflict. Yep. That's what I'm saying. See, that's a great point you made right there, because that within itself too is something that people don't understand. When you are a kid and you were able to play out there with kids out there in the world, you're learning so many different things. You're learning social skills. You're learning how to work together to accomplish a certain goal just by play. You're learning you're learning body language. You're learning facial expressions. You're learning touch. You're learning conflict resolution. You're learning so much when you're out there amongst other kids and you're playing. This is So crazy, folks. And I'm telling you, it's so important. Do you know why animals, when they are cubs or pups, do you know why they engage in play with each other? They are learning balance, proprioception, vestibular. Their muscles are getting stronger. They're getting muscle memory. They're learning the tools that they're going to need one day to possibly hunt or climb or fight when they engage in play. They're learning all these different skills they're going to need when they grow up. Humans, what happened? The same thing when you're learning to do things on a physical level is training you for the world that you're going to have to end up facing on your own. But we taking that away by putting them in front of all the electronics, right? So that's a good point there, Timothy. Juniper says, but please let us know. I have people thinking that is an excuse to be financially abusive to your spouse or partner because people do use these religious contexts and abusive ways to be neglectful. See, if somebody is using to be neglectful, whatever like that, then they are totally wrong because in the Bible, it tells a man to love your wife as Christ loved the church, that he gave himself for that church. So if a man who's supposed to be a man is following after the principles of God, his number one thing, if he's reading his Bible into his Bible like they claim they are, love his wife like Christ loved the church, that he gave himself for the church. So a man's purpose, as far as his wife goes, he's supposed to be giving his all for her. And when you sit there and see how Christ treated the church and how he acted towards the church, he wasn't treating the church like this misogynistic, bigoted, trying to take it. No, he did things. See, that's the thing. People don't understand. He did things the opposite way. He did things that had everything to do with uplifting the church. He taught the church. He led the church. He disciplined the church. He corrected the church. But the way he did it all out of love. And that's why I said, men, love your wives as Christ loved the church. If men are being abusive, that's not Christ. If men are being manipulative, that's not Christ. If men are being abusive, that's absolutely not Christ at all, period. And if any man try to use that right there to do stuff towards a wife, that is manipulation, and manipulation is witchcraft, and witchcraft is of an evil entity. How kids going to learn how to delay gratification if the parents can't? Facts. Ryder Tank says same thing that's happening to women from the ages of 30 and up. Who the game and play along with the mainstream narrative. Teens are actually finally realizing the path they may end up in. Yep, that's true. Talk to Tech butchered up my comment, but hopefully it was understandable regardless. Trista says majority of the children are cream puffs. Yes. Making tree forts, underground forts, catching pollywogs, minnows, and creeks during the winter, inner tubing on the foothills of Slick Rock Mountains, no mobile phones exposures. Yes, absolutely. But likewise, on the other end of the spectrum is emotionally abusive spouses and partners in regards to their partner trying to save money. Well, Juniper, here's a trick. Here's a trick. This is why I mentor the men. When you put a man and get him in the mindset of how he's supposed to move, behave, and act, you can sit there and let that woman be emotional all she wants to. She can try to say what she wants to. I can't stand you if a different husband, but all you have to do is teach this man to understand that when that woman is acting out emotional, she doesn't really mean that. She's only saying it for the sheer fact to try to get the tides turned towards her way so she can get her way. And when you understand that that is what she is trying to do, you won't let that affect you. Because again, give it some time. She'll get over it. She'll get over it. And then life is going to go on. Because guess what? Once she calms down and get away from all that, typically what a lot of people do is their conscience kick in. Is my husband right? Will this put us in a bad position? Oh, I get what he's saying. Is some women got so much pride they won't even come to the husband and tell him, baby, you were right. Honey, you were right. Honey, I apologize. Some people got strange ways of apologizing. They way of apologizing. The husband come home from work. I made your favorite dinner and I also made a pie. Some women just got a way of apologizing. I'm just telling you, this is just me letting you guys know that this is how a lot of people that we've counseled, we've dealt with this. That some women just got too much pride. They just can't go, baby, I'm so sorry the way I acted. I'm sorry I was da-da-da. And you as a man, because if you already knew that that's what she does and that's how she acts and that's how she moves, you don't let it get to you. You can just, well, okay, appreciate that, babe. Mwah, appreciate it. So move on. That's how you're supposed to move as a man. You're not supposed to let this stuff affect you in an emotional way. I can't be emotionally abused by my wife because I'm not designed to be emotionally abused. Now, I can open myself up if I allow that part of me to open up and allow those words to affect me, allow the fact that she's crying and calling me this. I can allow that to affect me to where it can get me all down and now, what's the freaking point? But as a man, you finished? Yep. Okay, we're still not going. I can't believe and I can't believe it. We're still not going. So we're just supposed to sit here and you let her do it, babe. We're still not going. Now, here's some alternatives. If you want to, we can go and do. Well, I don't want to. Okay, but we're still not going. If I was married to somebody, I know what you're trying to do. The fact you want to try to throw out there, if I was married to something else, or the neighbors next door, or understand, man, those are just a way. That is just a tactic of this war to try to find a weakness in the wall that you've built. If you sit there and you try to move something out the way of the wall and allow that opening right there and you get hit, it's going to get you. Your job is to sit there and take all of it is and still keep yourself in the mind frame. My wife is emotional. My wife is crying. My wife is yelling. But still in your head, you should be thinking logically, I'm still not going to do this because I'm not about to let this decision jeopardize how my family is going to be. That's your job. Period. It's easy. If you've already been in that mindset and all that, you will see that it's easy. Do you like when it happened? No. Who would like that? But at the same time, you are doing this for the betterment of your kingdom. Now, at the same time, we can flip this because I don't want people thinking if your husband, ladies, if your husband is doing this, trust me when I tell you, things will go a lot better if you learn to move and follow your husband. Now, some of y'all might tell me some things like, oh, Ty, with my husband, he has drinking problems and alcohol problems. He's abusive. I'm not talking about men like that. I am not talking about any man like that. If you have a man that's like that, I advise you to seek counsel. If he doesn't want to go to counseling, I'm just being real with you. If it is really ripping you apart, tearing you apart. You don't even have a real relationship with your husband. All you have is a sexual ship to where your husband treats you like crap. He treats you like dirt. He don't acknowledge nothing that you do. He's not appreciative of you. He doesn't care whatever. All he wants to do is have sex with you, and that's it. And that's all you mean to him. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not talking to y'all. If I was you, you need to do something which is okay, is to find some way to separate. Because you only get one life. You only get one shot through this journey called life. And I will be darned if I will sit around and live out all my days being in an abusive relationship, an emotionally abusive relationship, a mentally abusive relationship, a spiritual abusive relationship for the rest of your days, and then you die. That would be absolutely crazy for you to do that. What do you suggest, Ty? Find a support group that you can go to and move out. And hopefully your husband will see how much you meant to him. I'm telling you right now, that is going to be the only way for some of you to get the attention, because some of y'all, your husband having sex with you does not mean, oh, well, that means he's okay with me. If he treats you like crap, if he don't appreciate you, if he don't even just tell you things like, oh my God, you know how your food tastes, it's great, it's delicious, da 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 da. That's not what I am talking about. I'm not talking about that. Now, if you do happen to be a woman of that certain type of caliber, hats off to you, because that's taking on a lot. You taking on some verbal, mental, emotional, and spiritual abuse. Yeah, that's a lot. And all you're good for is just having sex with your husband, and you feel that way. I'd advise you, if you're able to go stay back with your mama or your sister, I'd advise you to separate and then talk from afar. If he said, "Can I come and see you?" No, I don't want to see you right now. You have to let it be known. Well, what let you have to be. This is what marriage is supposed to be about. You're supposed to be about communicating this. You should be able to tell your husband what's going on with you. A husband, you should be able to tell your wife what's going on. That's what communication is. Some of y'all harboring in all these emotions, y'all harboring in all this stuff, and you don't tell your spouse. You just hold it in because you feel, I don't want to say nothing because I know it's going to upset them. That is not a position you're supposed to be in. You should be able to have the boldness to be able to approach your husband or approach your wife about anything that is affecting you, because if it's affecting you, it's affecting your marriage, period. Some of you are of a certain mindset that you would rather take on the abuse and the pain, all for the sake that you don't want to have any conflict. And that is a terrible place to be in. All for the sake of not wanting any conflict, you would rather sit there and take on all the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, the verbal abuse, all for the sake of not wanting any conflict. You can't confronting that conflict cannot be worse, and it will not be worse than the abuse that you are already suffering already. Trust me, it can't. There should be no reason why you cannot talk to your husband about if he's doing an issue, if he has something towards you. There should be no reason. And the husband can do one or two things. He can take that in and give him some time to think about it, to see if he's going to fix it, or he'll get mad. I'm not doing this. Don't I put a roof over your head? Don't I pay all the bills? Da, 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 da. That has nothing to do with you being married to him. Men, just because you might be working and your wife is at home and you pay the bills and all the stuff like that, that does not have anything to do with your relationship to your wife. That is nothing more than your due diligence of taking care of your kingdom. Taking care of your kingdom, as far as having the bills paid and all that, has nothing to do with your relationship with your wife. Paying all the bills, making sure everybody is fed, it has nothing to do with you being a father and having a relationship with your children. That's why you have those different titles. You are a provider. Provider means you are providing for the well-being of the home. You are a protector. You are protecting your wife and your children from any type of harm. You're supposed to be mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, verbally, whatever. You are a protector, but you're also a husband. Husband don't mean you paying bills. That don't mean that you're a husband. That don't mean that you're a husband. Husband has everything to do with the relationship you have with your wife. Being a father don't mean that you're a father because you pay the bills that you in the house that your kids live in. Being a father don't mean because your kids have a room in the house that you pay for. Being a father don't mean because you paying for the food they eat. Being a father don't mean because you paying for the clothes they wear. Being a father has everything to do with the relationship you have with your children. That's what makes you a father. It's relationship. So don't get things twisted. Don't think just because you're doing all these things as a protector or as a provider that is equivalent to you being a husband and a father. It's not. It's not. Folks, Amanda said, Ty, thank you. Thank you, Ty. Given the crap I went through with my husband today, I needed to hear this. Yeah. Yeah, you can show him the video. You can show him the video if you want to. You can show him the video. Let's see here. My guy Chaotic Truth is in the house. Oh, you want to come in and say something? Give me a second, Chaotic. Folks, don't forget, right here, you see this says Chaotic Truth. Y'all see that right there? Where you at? Right here. This is Chaotic Truth Live. Go over there and check out his channel. Go over there and subscribe to his channel. He opens up really good dialogue and conversations, the whole nine. Make sure you go over there and check him out. Uh, I just got an email in here. I'm not gonna say who it's from. Someone just wrote me and said, I appreciate what you do. These shows talking about men's roles and women hits me hard. After my husband passed in 2011, I felt lost. Winding up in this wheelchair didn't bother me as much as not having that leadership and companionship. Now, men don't look at me as a woman, but as someone to pity or try to take advantage of. I pray these girls and women. I pray for these girls and these women. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to say the person's name. So let me get ready and see if anybody want to come and cam up and add your opinion to this. I'm getting ready to drop the link. There we go. And don't forget, while people might want to jump on the panel and speak what they want to speak, don't forget, check out Chaotic Truth's channel. Go subscribe to him. Don't forget to hit the like button right now so this video can be circulated within the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to double check and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. That way, you will know that you definitely are getting notified whenever I do go live, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. And don't forget, I am on Instagram as Modern Renaissance Man, and the O in modern is a 0. I'm on TikTok as Modern Renaissance Man. The O in modern is a 0. I am also on Twitter as the real Ty Smith. I am on Rumble as Modern Renaissance Man Variety Channel. Again, it's Rumble. You put in Modern Renaissance Man Variety Channel. I just put a link up. If you guys didn't see it, let me see if I can highlight it. Highlighting that link right there. If any of you may want to jump on and say a few words, what you think about this, et cetera, you can go ahead and click the link, jump on, and we can hear what you would like to say on this. Blake Russ says, we all learn from our experiences, though. I went through quite a few terrible relationships to get to a healthy relationship I have today with my wife. That's awesome. But with that being said, though, Blake, wouldn't it be even better? And not saying it, I'm just putting this out there. Wouldn't it have been better if you were already prepared and already on an intellectual, logical level? Wouldn't it have already been great if you were already prepared to deal with that possible relationship that you got in, that you would have knew how to handle it right from the jump? You know what I'm saying? So in other words, I would hate for you to have to go through so many, even just those two terrible relationships to get into a good place versus we should be able to get it right the first time. People say, well, it don't always work out like that, but it can if you wanted to. If you knew how to move as a man, if you knew how to vet these women that you were interested in before you married them, it definitely would have helped. I probably would say before I met my wife, I would say maybe 3 or 4 times out of the week, I spent my time studying relationships. I spent my time studying men, studying women. I picked people brains from all walks of lives, from people that were on welfare, that were married, to people that were first class, or not first class, people that were middle class, or people that were rich, people from the church, people that were married, that were like death metal rock and rollers. I picked all these people brains about a lot of stuff and a lot of issues that they may have dealt with and went through, is what I did. So I studied all this stuff, and I knew that the type of person that I am, I was not about to play around. I took relationships so serious. I knew that I'm not about to be in a relationship for the sake of just saying I have a girlfriend. I taught my sons, we not dating for sport. We don't just get a girlfriend and say I have a girlfriend. We don't. We don't do that. You plan on getting a girlfriend, is because you're going to have the intentions on marrying this woman. And notice I said marrying this woman. I didn't say you're going to have intentions on having sex with this woman. I didn't say you're going to have the intentions on kissing on this woman, holding hands with the woman. Matter of fact, I told them, no. This is what I told them. See, in their minds, it's stuck that this girl that I'm talking to is all about talking to this girl, getting to know how she is, knowing her mind, find out how she talks. Let time go by. We not just think you're in a mind frame to where this is not about to be your girlfriend. This is in a mind frame to where you are literally finding out who this person is. Because just because you work with them, just because you like them and y'all got this physical attraction to each other, your objective is to find out who this girl is. And hopefully this girl is doing the same thing to you. We're going to allow some time to go by. And guess what? I'm an involved father. My son comes to me and say, yeah, dad, I think I might be wanting to get a little serious with her. Introduce me to her son so we can talk to her. That's the type of dad I am. Ty, you're going to scare her off. No, I'm not. I'm going to vet this girl along with my son. I'm going to ask her who's her family. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call her family. I'm going to talk to them and say, hey, I just want to let you know I'm such and such's father, and I've talked with your daughter. Da, 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 da. I just want to talk and meet you guys. And I just want to let you know, because I think we need to have this connection. We need to exchange phone numbers. That way, if they're out and about, you guys know, and I will know. Should something happen, we both can be notified. Da, 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 da. I want you guys to keep tabs on your daughters, because I'm definitely going to keep tabs on my son. That's the type of father that I am. But at the same time, I'm going to be finding out who her family is too and what they're about. Because if they're about a whole bunch of nonsense and a bunch of drama, a bunch of craziness, son, nah. Mm-mm. 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 Nope. So anyway, folks, appreciate y'all being here. I don't know what happened. I don't know if Chaotic got thrown off, whatever like that. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to be probably going live again. I'm probably going to knock out some reaction videos, but I got to do a little bit of mentoring right now. So I got to go and do some mentoring. I'm glad that you guys are all here. Thank y'all for coming in here. I appreciate y'all. I'm Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, hoping and praying that every last one of you guys have food, shelter, and clothing. And I pray that every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.